We will discuss the INI CET PSM questions. I am Dr. Sondarkan NS, your PSM faculty. So the questions of the INI CET, that is Institute of National Importance Common Entrance Test. The questions of the PSM were covered in the following topics. So they have arranged the questions in following topics. So what are the topics which they have covered? See, they have asked questions in healthcare system in India. Okay, they have asked a question on inventory management, mobile medical unit, essential drug. That area they have covered, and they have asked questions on the epidemiology and statistics, which is main pillar of the community medicine. When you think positive predictive value in the trial, some questions are there, correlation coefficient, and they integrated the subject. That is, now we are going for CBME. What is CBME? Curriculum based medical education, where they are integrating the subject. So they have integrated pathology and statistics. Pathology and the statistics they have integrated. How we will see. Okay. And communicable disease and NCD and the national health programs are another pillar of the community medicine question. They have asked question on trachoma, two questions on vaccinations have been asked, HIV, TB, syndromic management, diabetic mellitus screening in PSC, Gangaru mother care, and under 5 mortality, one question has been asked. Okay, COVID-19, our recent pandemic questions has been asked on discharge, surgery planning, and how to management children, maybe in the thing of third wave. Some other topics like biomedical waste management, lactation, nutrition, and the lead poisoning has been asked. So we are going to see a crisp and clear explanation of all the topics. I have tried to cover most of the topics. Some of the topics I have taken in the classes for you. So we will cover the main topics. Okay. So let me go through the questions in the order. Okay, first question. The question is on healthcare system in India. Okay. In a primary health center, there were 50 hypertensive patients were transferred from other center to your center. They are on amlodipine. Okay. Actually, the question was that 40 people were there in amlodipine and 10 people are there in lisinopril. Okay, that is a question asked. As a medical officer in charge, do you know that as per IPHS standards, medical officer in charge is the captain of the team to maintain stocks on monthly basis. To maintain stocks on monthly basis, how many drugs you order? Okay, how many drugs you order? And there is the option is like this. Option A, option 1000 reorder factor 2. So what is this reorder factor? Okay, we are going to see what is reorder factor. So this document has been taken from National Health Mission guidelines. Okay, we have National Health Mission guidelines. Okay, that is directly taken from National Health Mission guidelines. Okay, so reorder factor. So reorder factor. Okay, for monthly basis for 1 month. Okay, it is they will take it as 3. Okay, 3 reorder factor. Okay, for 2 months it is 6. Okay, so that is a reorder factor. This is the point from the National Health Mission guidelines. Reorder factor 1 month is 3 and the 2 months is 6. Okay, 40 people on lisinopril, so 40 into 30 amlodipine, that is 1200, and 10 people on lisinopril, so 300, so 1500, plus they will add extra 100, so 1600. So 1600 plus reorder factor 3, option D is the correct answer. You can see that option D is the correct answer. This is directly taken from the National Health Mission guidelines. Okay, this is how the reorder factor is calculated. Okay, option B is wrong. Okay, 1600 plus reorder factor 3. This is how the explanation comes. Next question. Mobile medical unit are following are true except mobile medical unit is run by the government, one option. Mobile medical unit is run by external agency with medical supplies and medical supplies given by the government. Mobile medical unit run by government, medical supplies also by government. Mobile medical unit run by external agency and supply also by the external agency. What is the except? So we will see what is this mobile medical unit. Okay. Mobile medical unit according this is also taken from the National Health Mission guidelines. I have given the reference here. nationalhealthmission.gov.in. That guideline says mobile medical units are the range of health services for populations living in remote, inaccessible, unserved, underserved areas. These are the two. For these areas, they have to provide healthcare delivery to their doorsteps. So we have to go through them and do this delivery possible. Okay, healthcare delivery possible. We can see that pillars of 4 A's of primary healthcare: accessible, acceptable, available. Okay, so these are the areas. So for the inaccessible areas, this mobile medical unit will go. So mobile medical unit are 3 models. Okay, one is government operated model. What is government operated model? The administration is by the government and the drug production will be the government. Okay. And second model is the operation of mobile medical unit on outsourcing basis with the capital expenditure model. That is private will take, the external agency will take the second option, which is run by the external agency, which will be run by the external agency, and but the drug and the supply will be provided by the government. Okay. Or again the outsourcing will be done by the government. Okay, outsourcing will be done by the government and the medical supplies also will be by the government. So these three options will be there. It is run by the government and the supply by. So option 1 and 3, they split to the option 3 and they put it on 1. And option B is also correct. Okay, this is the mobile medical unit is run by the external agency, that is called CAPEX. Okay, that is capital expenditure, and the OPEX, okay, operational expenditure they will say. Option 4 is wrong. So this is the correct answer. Okay, the supplies will be always by the government. The government want to set up these services in the outer inaccessible areas. So that is how this works. Okay, mobile medical unit. Okay, mobile medical unit, this is how it is works. Next question is not a criteria for essential education. Part 26th edition question. Part 26th edition question. So much updated in that. So, okay, previously essential drugs was there in the our curriculum, but they removed and now it is again included in part 26th edition. 25th edition it is not there, students. Okay, so what are the things? We will see what are the criteria for essential drugs. These are the criteria for inclusion of medicine in the national list of essential medicine. NLEA means national list of essential medicines. The medicine should be approved or licensed by the government of India. That is the first one. Okay, the medicine should be approved or licensed by the government of India. Okay. And medicine should be useful in diseases which is a public health problem in India. Okay, so this is the one option. Medicine should have proven efficacy and scientific profile based on the scientific evidence. This is also one option. Medicine should be cost effective. Medicine should be aligned with the current treatment guidelines of the disease. That is another very important point. So approval on license and is used in the public health disease problem of India. Proven efficacy and safety profile, cost effective, and aligned the current treatment guidelines of the disease. And medical should be stable under the storage conditions, whatever the climatic conditions in India, we have variable climatic conditions. When there is more than one medicine or available for same therapeutic class, we will go for the medically best suited medicine of that class should be given. Suppose I have the two groups. Suppose I have the SGLT inhibitors also there and the metformin is also there for diabetes, which I have to choose based on the best suited medicine of that class. Suppose in that same class I have so many drugs are there, I will have to fix that medicine. Suppose in fluoroquinolones I have gadifloxacin, moxifloxacin, ofloxacin, sparfloxacin, so many things are there. So which is suitable of the safety, efficacy and cost effectiveness, based on that we have to see. Suppose in some states levoflox is best, in some states norflox is best, depends on the safety, efficacy and cost effectiveness of that state. Second one, the price of the total treatment should be considered, not the unit price. Maybe this may be the future MCQ. Prospective MCQ, this question can come. Price of the total treatment should be considered, not on the unit price of the medicine. Okay. Fixed dose combination generally not included. Very important. Fixed dose combination we are not including. We are going for the individual preparation. Okay. List of medicine is based on primary level, secondary level and tertiary level of medicine. Okay. Insulin is not mostly will not be available in the primary care because it will be available in the tertiary care. Okay. So what is the answer for this question? Should be line at the disease of India. That is one option. It should be cost effective. It should be efficacy. Fixed dose is better is the wrong answer. Okay. Fixed dose is not included in the essential medicines. Okay. This is from the Part 26 edition students. That so much they are updated. Okay. So next question from the epidemiology and the statistics. Okay. Epidemiology, which are the following is PPV is increased with prevalence. Yes, it is true. Sensitivity depends on the prevalence. It is false. Specificity depends on the prevalence. It is false. Both sensitivity and specificity not depends on the prevalence. Okay. So that we know that a chart will form the chart. Okay, 2 by 2 chart will form. We have the disease plus, disease negative. Okay, I have told the test plus, test negative. I have already told in the class how to remember this. Remember God, D is in the top. Okay, and we will see the total diseased and the total healthy. Okay, true positive means both the disease plus and the test plus. Okay, that is is true positive. Okay, true negative means both are negative, so both are negative. Okay, false positive means disease is negative and the test is positive. Okay, this is false positive, and this one false negative. Okay, that is disease is there, test is negative. Okay, this is a false negative. Okay, sensitivity is equal to, okay, among the total diseased, how many are true positive? Okay, so true positive plus false negative divided by total disease. Okay, specificity is equal to among the true healthy, how many are true negative? Okay, so true negative plus false positive divided by total healthy, that comes under the sensitivity and specificity. Both are not depends on the prevalence. It is a characteristic of the test. Both these are characteristics of a test, and it doesn't depends on the prevalence of the disease. Okay, PPV depends on the prevalence of the disease. Positive predictive value is directly proportional to prevalence. Directly proportional to prevalence, and the prevalence increases, positive predictive value increases. Okay, so that is the answer. In low prevalence area, positive to the ideal sensitivity test indicates true positive. No. Okay, because I already told sensitivity has no role with the prevalence, so we cannot comment on that. So this is also a false statement. We cannot comment on that based on the statement itself is wrong. Okay. So this is also false statement. So correct answer is PPV increases with the prevalence. What is the next point we can add? We can add is negative predictive value is inversely proportional to prevalence. Okay, when the prevalence increases, negative predictive value decreases. Okay. Next, point C in the diagram. This is what is this diagram? This diagram is called the natural history of the disease. Point C in the diagram indicates what? This is, see what is this stage? A and B. A and B the entry of the etiologic agent, and the B is the, in this will comes under the pathogenesis. Okay, this will comes under the pathogenesis. Exposure of etiologic happened comes here. Okay, this is A. So what is point C? Point C is the onset of clinical signs and symptoms. D is the pathogenesis. Okay, that is how then the clinical stage will form. Okay, so this is the answer is very straightforward question. Onset of clinical signs and symptoms is the C. Okay. Now this diagram is given in statistics. The question is like this: based on the image above, 4 groups of homogeneous samples were taken and the plotted for height and weight. Each group has a correlation coefficient of 0.6. Okay, this is the thing. 4 samples. Okay, 4 samples, A, B, C, D maybe. Okay, each have the correlation coefficient of 0.6 and the homogeneous sample. Homogeneous sample, how to calculate the combined correlation coefficient? Combined correlation coefficient. Combined correlation coefficient is average in a homogeneous sample. In a homogeneous sample, combined correlation coefficient is the average of the correlation coefficient. Okay, so 0.6 plus 0.6 plus 0.6 plus 0.6 divided by 4 is equal to 0.6. Okay, so the answer is equal to 0.6. Okay, so answer is equal to 0.6 is the answer, because this is a homogeneous sample. We have to go for the total or combined correlation coefficient is average. Okay, so equal to 0.6. The next question, this is the question asked in the image. Okay, so based on the above image, which studies show the equivalence of the drug? Okay, so let's see some discussion on the trials. Okay, what are the types of trial? There are 3 types of trial. One is called superiority trial. That is called superiority trial. Second trial is the non-inferior trial. Third one is the equivalence trial. Okay, what is superiority trial? I have found out a new drug. I want to test whether it is better than the existing drug. Very simple. I want to prove that the present drug is superior than the existing drug. Very simple. I want to prove remdesivir is better than the steroid. Okay, that is superiority trial. Non-inferior. Non-inferior is I have already essential treatment. I have already existing treatment, but that treatment may have large side effects. I can use, but the already side effect is there. So I want to find a new drug with the same efficacy, non-inferior. Okay, but side effects will be little bit less. Okay, that is a non-inferior trial. Equivalence trial means both have equal efficacy. Okay, Normally, we will do the non-inferior trial, and it is ethically easy to do. Okay, ethically easy to do, and statistically also very thing. So when we find out that, we will plot the graph like this. Okay, we will have this called comparative drug. Usually, you have the placebo will be there, superiority graph will be there. Okay, this is the line. Okay, this is the line indicates the confidence interval, and there is a middle. There is a middle one point will be there, which includes the effect size, treatment effect. They will say treatment effect. Treatment effect usually indicated by odds ratio. Okay, so some people say this is a median. No, this is not median. This is the treatment effect. That is odds ratio. Okay, how this plot is formed? This is comes under minus delta. This comes under plus delta. Delta means that whether the superiority. This F and G will comes under superiority. This F drug and G drugs are superior to the existing drug. A and B are non-inferior. This is comes under non-inferior. Non-inferior group. This is comes under superior group. Okay, this is how the blood. C, D, E are in the zone of equivalence. Okay, in some people C may be superior, some people there is non-inferior, the zone of equivalence. It is in the zone. And C, some C drug, some people it is equivalent, some people non-inferior. D is completely a zone of equivalence. E is the some zone of equivalence and also superior. So it is in the zone of equivalence. So the answer will be C, D, and E. They are in the zone of equivalence. Okay, not D only. Both C and E is also in the zone of equivalence. Okay. So graph used in the flow cytometry. Flow cytometry is used in the pathology. What is that plot is? This is how the graph will look. You see this is the dot. Okay. So dot plot is there. So dot plot is there in the odd option. Flow cytometry again you are seeing the IgG. So there is a, you see the count. So this is a quantitative data. What data? Quantitative data. So since we are using for quantitative data, that is how the biostatistics, bar diagram and the pie chart is excluded. Both are for qualitative data. So when you see in the thing, your confusion will be here for line diagram or histogram. You see there is a three things are there. Three things are there. This comes under histogram. Okay. So histogram and the dot plot. This is how they are integrating the subject now. They may integrate with OG and community medicine, microbiology and community medicine, medicine and surgery. So this is how the integration of subject is formed. This is one of the classical MCQ for the integration. The answer is histogram and the dot plot. Okay, so see from the graphs. Okay, next to come to the next chapter. Usually communicable diseases are very easy. You can just take fatafa, click karo. Okay. So safe strategy is used. Which of the following is false? Safe strategy is yes. Surgery for trichiasis. Trichiasis is the complication of trachoma where the eyelids gets fused. I have to do the surgery. Antibiotics, we are giving azithromycin. Facial cleaning. Okay, A is for antibiotics. F is for facial cleaning, facial cleaning. Okay. E is environmental modification. Environmental modification. Again, they are stressing on the prevention of the disease. Okay, primary prevention of the disease. So evaluation of the program is not there. It comes under environmental modification. This is how the recall question has come. Associated with intussusception, very straightforward question. The answer is rotavirus. Okay, here what is the answer? Yes, the what is the answer is the evaluation of the program is the wrong answer. Here what is the answer is very simple. Rotavirus. Previously we had a product called RotaShield that is associated with intussusception. Pentavalent vaccine, what are the side effects it will cause? It will cause hypotonic, hyporesponsive episode. Hypotonic, hyporesponsive episode. Okay. Influenza vaccine, what is the side effect? I told in the class, it will cause GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome. Okay. So pneumococcal vaccine, usually there is no side effect, mild reactions will be there. Rotavirus is associated with intussusception. Very straightforward question. Okay, there is no need to think overhead. Composition of pentavalent vaccine. Again, very straightforward question, students. Diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, hepatitis B, HIV, hemophilus influenza B, and the hepatitis B. This is the answer. Now you see the option B. Option B, I want to say something. Now they are planning to include polio in the pentavalent, which will form hexavalent. So only they have put this option of polio. Okay, hexavalent include pentavalent plus polio. So what polio it is there? It is IPV. It is IPV. IPV. Okay. I repeated in the class. If you don't know any vaccine dose, the answer is 0.5 ml. What is the typhoid vaccine? 0.5 ml. Corona vaccine? 0.5 ml. Okay. So I told in the class. So in HIV TB management, which is true, very again straightforward question. We have to start ATT first. After 2 weeks, we have to go for antiretroviral treatment. Okay. So the answer is option A. Okay. We have to start with the anti-TB treatment. Then you have to go for the anti-retroviral treatment. Again, important point is we have to admit the patient and do the parameters. Then only you go for the management. Okay. First start ATT, anti-tubercular treatment. Then you go for the antiretroviral treatment. Okay. Next, NACO. Again, the question is on NACO. What are the drug kits? Okay. So we have the 7 drug kits are there. I have told mnemonic in the class how to remember that. Okay. Based on that, we will go with low. You can see the word low. So yellow. Okay. Remember that. Okay. Then urethral discharge, we have the gray color kit. Vaginal discharge, green color kit. The mnemonic which I told in the class is great girls owned by red, yellow, black bag. Usually girls owned by the red, yellow, black bag color. So that is our mnemonic. Okay. Genital ulcer non-herpetic, white color. Those who are their penicillin is there. That is color number 4. Blue color is for non-herpetic, same non-herpetic with the penicillin allergy. With the penicillin allergy, we cannot use penicillin, so we have to go for doxy. Okay, doxy. Okay. Herpetic ulcer, very straightforward, acyclovir. Okay, acyclovir. Lower abdominal, yellow. Okay, so we match the following. Lower abdominal pain, A is 4. A is 4. Okay, that is matching yellow, kit 6. Okay, urethral discharge. Okay, it is 1. First one, urethral discharge and the cervical discharge, anorethral discharge, cervicitis, we have to the gray color kit. Very straightforward. Non-herpetic ulcer, there are 2 things are there. White also there, blue is there. We are taking the option of white. Okay. Vaginal discharge, that is the again the green color kit number 2. Okay. Again straightforward question from NACO. This comes under Suraksha Clinic. Suraksha matlab, Suraksha means protection. Okay. Suraksha Clinic. Okay. Very straightforward. Identification of diabetic case in the primary health center is by the very straightforward question. It is from the fasting plasma glucose. Fasting plasma glucose. But if the question is asked by identification of diabetic case with the primary health center by multi-purpose health worker, if the question comes is the answer is random blood glucose. Okay, usually they are telling the MBBS doctors, so fasting plasma glucose we are doing in the peripheral setup. So answer is fasting plasma glucose. If they specifically mention multi-purpose worker, it is random blood glucose more than 140. You have to screen for diabetics. Screen for diabetics. Okay, HbA1c usually available in the tertiary setup, so that is not the answer. So primary health setup is fasting blood sugar according to the NPCDCS program. This is how the program runs. Okay. The next question, according to verbal autopsy report 2010 to 2013, arrange the cause of the death in 124. So this is Center for Global Health Research that they have done the study of verbal autopsy report. In that they have formed a thing. And in that it is the pneumonia forms the majority on the 1 to 4. Okay, 1 to 4 disease. Pneumonia followed by diarrheal disease, then injury, then malaria will comes under later. Okay, they have included non-communicable disease in the 4. But so the answer will be straightforward. From the chart it is pneumonia followed by diarrhea, then injuries will come, then other non-communicable disease not there in the options. We are going for this thing. Suppose the question asked is according to SRS data. SRS 2016 data is uploaded in the PARC 26th edition. According to that, diarrhea is the most common, followed by pneumonia. Okay, followed by pneumonia, that is the better answer. Okay, then the injuries and the malaria will come. Okay, so according to the SRS data, but the question here is verbal autopsy report of 2000 and 2013 that is done by the Center for Global Health Research. According to them, this is the data finding. Okay, so the aims are taken from the WHO sites also. Kangaroo mother care, very straightforward question from the WHO module. It includes the skin to skin contact between mother and the newborn. Frequent and exclusive breastfeeding. August first week is breastfeeding week. Okay. Early discharge from the hospital. Okay. You can see this option. Skin to skin care. Early discharge. Exclusive breastfeeding is the answer. We cannot reduce the infection using the kangaroo mother care. Hypothermia prevention is there, but is according to it is the presumed benefit. Presumed benefit. So this is the though this other the D option is also comes under true, but the classical description of the skin to skin contact, early discharge and the exclusive breastfeeding is the kangaroo mother according to the WHO's reference. I have given the reference. Okay. Next, coming to our COVID area. Okay. During post-discharge advice of the COVID patient, any COVID patient, all are advised except return if there is facial pain. Yes, we have to very clear because if there is facial pain, it indicates that it may be mucormycosis. It may be mucormycosis. Okay. Regular monitoring of sugar is very important because two things. One is if you start on steroid, it will cause hyperglycemia. Okay, so we don't know whether it is due to faulty sugar management or steroid, so we have to do the regular monitoring of sugar. If the new onset symptom comes, suddenly new onset symptom comes like anosmia and all, you have to report immediately. It may be reinfection or it may be severity or maybe due to mucormycosis, we don't know. Repeat PCR we should not do. Why we should not do repeat PCR, you know, students? Because there will be dead DNA will be there after 7 days, which RT-PCR may be positive. So this is the protocol according to ICMR reverse discharge policy. There is no RT-PCR required before discharge. There is no RT-PCR required before discharge. Okay. And when will you discharge? Only resolution of the clinical symptoms. Ability to maintain the oxygen saturation for more than 3 consecutive days. The person should be able to maintain the oxygen saturation of the optimal level. Okay, optimal level for more than 3 days. Then only this thing. Okay. So there is no RT-PCR test done before discharge. Very clear that. Okay. So same, they have added one more question. Recommendation to conduct the elective surgery for a symptomatic COVID patient who is hospitalized and discharged. Remember, each point is very important. Okay, because I will come to the guidelines. Okay, this is the according to American ASI. Okay, Association of Surgeons of India. That is guidelines. Okay. If the patient is asymptomatic patient and recovery from one mild symptom, it is 4 weeks. The surgery should be deferred for 4 weeks. Symptomatic patients who didn't require hospitalization, read the point very clear, students. It is 6 weeks. Okay. Symptomatic patient who is hospitalized 8 to 10 weeks. Okay. Intensive care 12 weeks. Okay. Read the question properly. Symptomatic and hospitalized. Correct. Symptomatic, hospitalized, the answer is 8 weeks. What is 6 weeks? Symptomatic, not hospitalized. Okay. 12 weeks, ICU care. 4 weeks, asymptomatic patients. So, this is for asymptomatic. I am repeating again. Asymptomatic. This is for symptomatic and non-hospitalized. 8 weeks, symptomatic and hospitalized. 12 weeks, those who are in ICU. Okay, 12 weeks we can defer. Okay, so very straightforward. Management of severe COVID-19 in children is steroids. Remdesivir and ivermectin are contraindicated in children. Even now the recommendation has not come. There's only way is steroids. Okay. Usually COVID-19 will not have any impact in children. Usually they will go for asymptomatic or very mild. Okay, because of the less ACE receptors. Okay, and usually there won't be no cytokine storm in children. Okay, the only way to prevent the COVID-19 in children is vaccinate the parents. Okay, vaccinate the parents. Usually there won't be any cytokine storm in normal children. Those who are high risk like diabetes, asthmatic, on steroid will be have the cytokine storm. Okay. So this is the straightforward question. Which of the following is disposed in the black bag? Okay. Black bag is the paper covering. Contaminated linen will be discarded in the yellow bag. This is in the red bag. gloves will be in red bag according to biomedical way in 2016. And the glove paper covering is the black bag. Okay, so that is how the biomedical waste management guidelines work. Okay, usually the all red is for the contaminated. Okay, blue color is for the pacemakers. Okay, white translucent bottle is for the shots. You all know this. Okay, good translucent shots. Which of the following is nutrient is required higher doses in the lactating female more than RDA is calcium. Okay, calcium is required. Okay, normal is 1000. It is required 1200 milligram in the pregnancy. Extra needed. Okay, to calcium because the breast milk will have less calcium. Okay, so we have to go for the calcium. Now there are vitamin D also. Vitamin A and iron folic acid are required in the normal amount, that is normal recommend RDA, otherwise the EAR, estimated average requirement. Okay, that also it is almost same. Okay, so the calcium will be the extra. Okay, around 200 to 400 milligram extra. 200 to 400 milligram extra is needed in the lactating woman. The calcium is needed extra. Okay. The most common mode of observation of the lead poisoning in industries. The question asked is in industries. Okay, usually it is by the inhalation. Okay. If the question is children, it is by the ingestion more than inhalation. Ingestion more than the inhalation, that is in the children. Okay. I have told the symptoms of the lead poisoning. We have remember the mnemonic A, B, C, D, E. Okay. And the F. Okay. A is the anemia will be there. Microstatic hypochromic anemia. B is the basophilic stippling, which is the pathognomonic of the lead poisoning. Okay. Pathognomonic of the lead poisoning. Okay. And B is also for the Bartonian line. You know what is Bartonian line? There is be a thin line in the gum. Okay, gum line, bluish line in the gum. C is for the colic. There will be severe abdominal colic. D is drop, wrist drop. Okay, that will be the drop. E is encephalopathy that won't occur in the inorganic lead. Encephalopathy will happen in the organic lead. P is for the facial pallor. Facial pallor. Okay, so there is this is the thing. Okay, we have to go for the EDTA. EDTA is the treatment of choice. Okay, treatment of choice. Lead inhibits the heme synthesis, that and all you know. Okay, this is the mnemonic, that the thing, anemia, basophilic stippling, colic, drop, encephalopathy and the facial pallor. Okay, so I conclude this by revision of the PSM mini CET. I have given only the short and sweet explanation so that you can finish it in fast time for your revision. Okay, so revise the communicable, non-communicable national health programs very clearly, students, because the question is very easy. Fatafat. Statistics, epidemiology, please thorough the concept again and again and again, because when you know the concept, you may be able to answer even the trials question. Common sense can be used to answer the questions. Okay, so 1 or 2 questions will be little tough, like mobile medical unit and this thing. For that, we have to, when you keep on revise, we can able to guess the option. Okay, so thank you, students. I wish you all the best for the future exams, and thank you.